right, so today we're going deep, deep, deep into February 19th, 2025.
Okay.
And I am super curious to see what we can unpack for you today.
Yeah, sounds good.
So you've given us a good bit of information to work with. You've got your general, like, astrological overview.
Right.
And then, even more interestingly, you've got a TarotScope specifically for the turtle sign.
Interesting.
And I always love when we get to work with TarotScopes.
Yes, definitely.
Because it's kind of like this blend of traditional tarot card interpretations.
Right.
But it's also filtered through your particular astrological influences. So it makes it, like, super specific to you. And, so, yeah, I think this will be really fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in here with a general overview.
Okay.
And just kind of get us rolling.
Sounds good.
One of the things that I find really interesting about today is this idea of practicality.
Yeah.
Meeting unpredictability.
I see that.
Like, so it seems like you're going to be kind of navigating a day that requires, like, grounded action.
Right.
But also an openness to, like,
flexibility, yeah.
the unexpected. Yeah.
For sure.
And I'm immediately, like, thinking, okay, so we've got the turtle sign here.
Turtle sign.
You know, the turtle is known for being steady, deliberate. You know, slow and steady, wins the race, all that.
Totally, yeah.
So how does that steady, deliberate energy play out on a day that is full of unpredictability? You know,
I'm curious too.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see how this all kind of plays out.
Right.
Okay, well, let's look at the morning first.
Okay.
Because the overview describes the morning as having a really, like, focused, almost business-like energy.
Right.
Does that resonate with you at all?
It does, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything important planned for the morning?
It's interesting you say that because when I look at the turtle, like, that morning energy really aligns with the turtle's, like, natural strengths.
Interesting.
You know, it really emphasizes, like, using that practical, resourceful side of yourself to tackle any challenges that come up.
So it's about, like,
it's about approaching
being really, like, mature and having, like, a clear head.
With maturity and a clear head, exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, as the overview reminds us, there will be things that you just can't control.
Exactly.
Right? So it's not about, like,
you can't control everything.
Freaking out or, like, trying to
it's not about giving up either.
Control everything. Yeah, it's more about, like, recognizing.
Yeah, recognizing what you can influence.
What you can influence.
Yeah.
Okay.
And focusing your energy there.
Yeah, and just focusing your energy on that.
Exactly. I think that's a great way to start the day.
I do too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got this, like, really grounded, get things done start.
Yeah, get things.
But then things get really interesting.
It gets interesting.
The overview mentions emotional deep dives and
emotional deep dives.
Unexpected plot twists for the afternoon.
For the afternoon. Okay. So for someone who maybe isn't super familiar with, like, astro speak, can you break that down a little bit?
Sure.
What might that actually look like in real life?
So basically what that's suggesting is that the afternoon could bring up some intense feelings or situations that require you to, like, adapt and think on your feet.
Okay.
You know?
So
maybe an unexpected change of plans.
Okay. Like an unexpected change of plan.
Right, or a difficult conversation.
Yeah.
Or even like a sudden
burst of inspiration.
Oh, that's nice.
Right. That pulls you in a new direction. So there's a lot of possibility there.
Yeah.
But it requires you to be flexible.
Totally. And that's where I think the turtle's wisdom really comes into play.
Yes.
Because the TarotScope specifically cautions against rushing or forcing progress.
Right.
And I can see how, like, if those unexpected twists happen and you try to, like, control them or force things in a certain direction.
Like force the river to flow uphill?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not about passively accepting whatever comes your way either.
Yeah. It's more about responding with that work, with that
with steady, correct. It's adaptable spirit, you know?
Yeah.
Imagine encountering a roadblock. Instead of getting frustrated and pushing harder, the turtle would pause, assess the situation,
take a breath,
find a way around, or even use the obstacle to its advantage.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. It's about staying present.
Okay. Resourceful.
Present and resourceful.
And most importantly, remembering to breathe.
Remembering to breathe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like sometimes when those unexpected things come up, our breath is like the first thing to go, right?
Yeah.
It's like holding our breath.
Yeah. And then
we're like tense.
We tense up and then we can't think clearly.
We can't think clearly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of potentially not thinking clearly.
Right. The TarotScope also highlights some of the turtle's
shadow side.
potential challenges. Yeah, the shadow side. And it talks about feelings of overwhelm, maybe even a tendency to withdraw or procrastinate.
Yeah.
Do you think those things are connected at all to
I think so.
Trying to force things instead of going with the flow?
I think when we resist, we create internal conflict.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
And that can manifest as feeling
stuck, overwhelmed, or disconnected from our own inner wisdom. So
it sounds
having that balance that sometimes the most productive thing we can do,
movement
and stillness, is really key.
Reconnect with our inner voice and trust the timing of our journey.
I'm curious about how that ties into the overview's emphasis on finding productive outlets for passion.
Right.
It seems
contradictory.
Yeah,
like slowing down.
Slowing down to connect with path.
Yeah. Well, what's fascinating here is that the overview isn't just talking about productivity.
Okay.
In a purely task-oriented sense.
Gotcha.
It's more about aligning your actions with what truly brings you joy and purpose.
Okay.
And when you're in sync with your passions, even challenging tasks become infused with a sense of flow and meaning. And sometimes taking that pause to reconnect with what truly matters can be the most productive thing you do.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that too.
Okay, so let's bring it all together for you. Your day is kind of shaped by this interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Of practicality and planning in the morning. Right. But with a healthy dose of flexibility and openness to the unexpected as you move into the afternoon.
Yeah.
And throughout the day, just remember the turtle's wisdom.
Yes.
Slow and steady. As the race.
But also
slow and steady.
Allows
for course correction.
Along the way.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not just about
going slow.
Blindly going slow.
Yeah,
it's about
being mindful.
And adjusting. As needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you move through your day.
Okay.
I encourage you to pay attention to any resistance.
Okay.
Resistance. Where are you pushing, forcing, or trying to control outcomes?
Okay.
Those feelings are valuable signals pointing you towards areas where you might need to
slow down,
reassess.
Or simply let go. Yeah.
Remember the turtle's strength lies in its ability to move with grace and resilience, adapting to the ever-changing terrain of life.
Yeah.
You got this.
All right. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that a lot.
Me too.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
I hope you have a wonderful February 19th.
I hope so too.
And we'll see you next time.
See you later. Bye.